the village of helping build bridges across.com. Today is Inspirational Minutes with Donyale. Inspirational Minutes with Donyale. And here we share a quote. Here is a quote that I selected that some of you may have seen in the social media village, but it gives me an opportunity to give more meat behind the quote. It gives me an opportunity to share more of what caught my attention. One of my favorites, I should say one of mine, because every single thing I post is almost like a favorite. But the one that I wanted to share with you today was, if only our eyes saw hearts instead of faces, how different our view would be. If only our eyes saw hearts instead of faces, how different our view would be. That just speaks volumes to me, because I think about how we meet people all the time. You can go back to your childhood of meeting people, and there's smiles and there's laughter and there's conversation, and you just never know. You never know the story behind the smile or the stories behind the smile. You never know the insecurities or the concerns or the tears or the laughter. You just don't know the story. And I'm not sharing that we should know the story. We should know everything. And for me, my faith as a Christian, as a person that believes in God, that is my solace. That's my foundation, because I know He knows my heart. So in my devotion time, I can give myself fully to that. And that's my peace. That's my work inside for me. But what I'm sharing with you is that if we could live life daily, just seeing hearts. Now, we'll never know the full story. I don't think anybody we meet will know, unless they choose to share. And even then, you wonder how much they hold back in their sharing. But what I would give to you is, in knowing that we all have our frailties, that knowing that we all have things that we're working through. And I think you work through things for a lifetime. It doesn't have to always be a major thing. It could be just things that are a part of your life that you're working through. If only we took time to realize that we all have a story. We all have stories behind our smile. And I just think we should be working with each other with a humble heart. I think about life, and you just never know. Your journey could be in one spot. You could be in this spot right now. Things could be going in this direction for you, and that's great. You might be on a mountaintop. Life is full of mountains and valleys, and so you could be on that mountain. And I hope you stay there for a long time. I love mountains. Favorite time, favorite season. But I'm making the point, you never know where your life will take you. You never know what you'll face before your journey's over, as we know it here. And so that alone to me should give you a humble heart. That alone to me should mean there should be some empathy there, some compassion there to know, you know what? I recognize that I really don't know. And we shouldn't meet people where we meet them at. In other words, I can't judge someone's story by meeting them in the moment. Maybe some people are in the moment kind of quiet, or they don't have a lot to say, or you're trying to figure out where they're coming from, and then you realize that you don't know. You don't know what they just found out. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what's facing them at home or what they're working through. So I just think if we could live more with the empathetic heart and a more humble heart, if we could think of meeting people by their heart, not by what they show us, not by the smile, the song, the talent, they can play an instrument great, they can sing the notes off of a page, they can act. They're an actor or an actress, or they're an author, or they're a doctor, whoever these people are, they all have stories. They all have struggles. They all have concerns. So we meet people just out of respecting someone else and just meeting them. I'm not coming here to change you. I'm not coming here to judge you. I'm not coming here to do anything but share my heart. And what I'm giving out of my own experience. I'm giving out of the things that I've experienced. And I'm saying that not to, again, please hear me. I'm not saying it to get accolades. I really appreciate people's kind words, but to me, the power is just do the work. Do the work. Let the work show up. Plant the seeds of gratitude with me. That is doing the work. Mailing out gratitude, finding things that pay back into the community, that gives a percentage back, that keeps us going to give things away. That is an action. Gratitude is more than a word, it's an action. It's the same that applies to the Live Heart Inspired. We're getting ready to start our book reading. It's going to be a workshop, Live Heart Inspired. That's going to be going out in our newsletter soon. So if you are liking the vibe of these videos or the social media posts or things that you've come across, be sure to get connected to our newsletter. And you do that by going to helpingbuildbridgesacross.com. And there will be a pop-up that will say join us, and you're able to sign in there. And I'm looking for those people who really genuinely want that. It's not about just signing up for stuff and doing things. It should be things that are in your heart to do. And many of you do it already from day one. I mean, just sharing your voice, all those things mean something. All those things are planting seeds of gratitude. So to stay on topic as we close this out, because these are meant to be minutes. I don't want to make it too long. I could do a whole seminar talking. So when you're a talker, you know that you have to minimize. Our brains can only take in so much, right? So today's quote, if only our eyes saw hearts. Let's break it down. If only our eyes saw hearts. That means that when I met someone, I could just listen to them, I can hear them, I can meet them where I meet them at, not passing judgment, not making any kind of assessment, not even needing assessment, just maybe meeting them in that space and going away. Some people you will connect with and you'll build with and you'll get to know and you'll have friendships with, and some you won't. But it doesn't mean we can't hear each other and move on, right? It doesn't have to be a shouting match. It doesn't have to be me pushing you back on me and you pushing back and we're back and forth with a lot of noise. That's noise, right? So I don't spend a lot of time on noise. We have to decide where we spend our time. Life is too short. It's too precious. It's too priceless to get caught up in noise. So if only our eyes saw hearts instead of faces. Faces. Sometimes when you meet people, you can't help but see them visually first. The first thing you see is their face. You may assess their clothing or their hair or their nails. For guys, maybe their haircut or what they're wearing or what they're driving. It's like the first impression. If we could just stop and let all that go aside and just listen and meet them in their heart, that would be pretty cool. And sometimes their heart requires a lot of noise. It requires not so much noise but more silence, just being genuine. I think people know when you're not genuine. I really believe that. I think people can pick up when you're just, going through the motions instead of just having that true, genuine nature. And if we could just meet people in that space, just think how different our view would be. How different our view would be. All right, guys, this has been Donyale, helpingbuildbridgesacross.com. I don't think I mentioned it in the beginning, so I'm going to mention it now. But most of you know me, and those of you who don't, I don't provide answers. I'm not here giving answers. I'm here on a journey like you, and I thank you for sharing this unfamiliar journey with me. And I also want to say to you that I don't share answers. I share a perspective. My perspective comes from my experience. It comes from my environment. It comes from my faith. It comes from the things that I have experienced, and I'm willing to share that. And I'm hoping that like a buffet table, you can take what can be an asset to you and leave the rest behind. So again, get connected, join in the work. Many, many people have. We're doing a wonderful thing by planting seeds because seeds always have the potential to grow. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, helpingbuildbridgesacross.com is the village. This has been Inspirational Minutes with Donyale. And I just thank you. And until next time, take care of yourself and stay safe.